Hi friends, I am Dr. Pavitra and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Doctor's Journey. Today let's talk about FRCA exams. I'm sure you might know this. This is Fellowship of Royal College of Anaesthesia exams. These exams in general in the UK are used to assess anaesthetist postgraduate students or trainees. So if you are getting trained in anesthesia in overseas countries, you can also take these exams to prove your anesthetist knowledge, and after clearing these exams you can actually get the GMT registration to work here as anesthetist. You should know about format of the exam, and also there is something called TE which needs to be done before getting the eligibility to apply for these exams. I'm going to talk about all that, and also I'm going to explain the format of the FRCA exams so that it will be easier for you to understand and proceed with the plan to apply for FRCA exams. Let's begin with the video. As I've already told, FRCA exams can be taken both by international anaesthetist doctors as well as UK trainees or postgraduate students in anesthesia. However, in this video, I'm going to explain how an international anesthesia doctors can take these exams and make the and become an anesthesia consultant here in the UK. To apply for these exams as an international anesthesia practicing doctor, we need to have temporary examination eligibility. This TEE allows practicing anesthetist overseas to justify or satisfy the membership requirement and become eligible to take these primary FRCA exams. So the next question what you can ask me is how to get this temporary examination eligibility. So I've gathered information, and there is something called temporary examination eligibility application form. In this application form, there will be personal details which we need to fill, and then give address details, and then some questions related to our graduation, primary medical qualification, or where we are practicing anesthesia, or where we got our postgraduate degree in anesthesia. And along with the TE application form, we also need to have a primary medical qualification and registration certificate of wherever you have been registered, and your internship completion certificate, and a postgraduate qualification. However, if you're still studying as a postgraduate student in anesthesia, you can also apply for this FRCA exams, as you only have to provide the proof that you're being trained in anesthesia for minimum of 6 months. This can also be a certificate signed from your college, wherever you're getting your post-graduation studies. And together with TE application form and these 4 requirements, if you mail these to exams@rcoa.ac.uk, it takes like minimum of 2 to 3 months time for them to reply, and they will reply to your application form saying whether you have got the temporary examination eligibility or not. If you get this temporary examination eligibility, then you will have a number, temporary examination eligibility number, with which you can go to the website of FRCA or Royal College of Anaesthesia website, where you can apply for primary FRCA exams. The current fee or annual fee for temporary examination eligibility membership is £100. We can convert it to our currency. For India, it's INR. It will be around 10,000 Indian rupees. So this is the eligibility criteria. Let's assume that we have got the temporary examination eligibility criteria and we want to apply for FRCA exams. We should know the format of FRCA exams to apply for this. And the format is, there are 2 exams in FRCA exams, that is primary FRCA exam and final FRCA exams. As an internationally practicing anesthetist, my aim is to get the GMC registration so that I can work in the UK as anesthesia registrar or consultant. So my primary aim would be to clear primary FRCA exams. As just by clearing primary FRCA exams, I'll be able to get the GMC registration. There is no need to clear final FRCA exams to get the GMC registration. Let's assume that we have cleared primary FRCA exam and got the GMC registration. Then you might ask, what is the point of clearing final FRCA exams? Even though you have cleared final FRCA exams and got your GMC registration, you can't use FRCA in front of your name. It doesn't complete the your anesthesia training here in the UK. Uh, for example, if my name is Pavitra, Dr. Pavitra MBBS, and I'm using this MD because I've been trained or obtained my anesthesia degree from India, I'll use MD in front of my name, and then only by clearing both primary and final FRCA exams, I'll be able to use FRCA in front of my name. I hope you understood that. So, as my aim is GMC registration and how I can get the GMC registration, I'm going to talk more about primary FRCA exams. So, there are three components in primary FRCA exams: one theory exam, one OSCE exam, that is objective structure clinical examination, and one SOE exam, that is structural oral examination. So, if I have to get the GMT registration, I need to clear all three of these exams to say that I have passed primary FRCA exams. Only then I can apply for GMT registration. Let's first see multiple choice questions. How many questions will be there in an exam and everything. For this primary MCQ examination, it's a 3-hour written exam. There will be 90 questions which needs to be answered in 3-hour time. Out of 90, 45 questions will be multiple true or false kind of questions, and 45 single best answer questions. Among these 45 multiple true or false questions, 15 questions might come from pharmacology related to anesthesia, and 15 questions from physiology, including related biochemistry and anatomy of anesthesia, and 15 questions in physics, clinical measurements, statistical methods, and data interpretation. I'm sure if you are trained in anesthesia in any of the countries, we would know all this basic knowledge. However, we need to practice in such a way that we will be able to answer whether it's true or false to crack this exam. And the next 45 single best answer questions, there will be a stem given to each question and 5 plausible options given for that. Out of these 5 probable answers, we need to choose the best correct answer uh, to show that we have got the definite anesthetic knowledge to answer. Let's assume we have cleared primary MCQ examination. Only after clearing this theory part of primary MCQ examination, we can apply for OSCE or SOE. So, theory examination is a bit easy because we have got anesthesia knowledge, and if we prepare well for this, we can apply. And after that, if we are applying for OSCE, OSCE is a bit different, or practical examination what we take in India or any other countries is quite different than the practical examination or OSCE here in the UK. In this objective structural clinical examination, we as a candidate, we need to go to 16 to 19 cubicles which are formed in a circle or a circuit, and in each of these cubicles there will be a simulator or patient, an actor posing like a patient or a mannequin, in which we need to go and practice or like perform the task or the questions given outside the cubicle as an anesthetic doctors. There'll be an examiner inside the cubicle to assess your performance. Let's say I've got the cubicle number one, where I'll be given 1 minute time to read the question and understand the task and mind what I have to do after getting into the cubicle. I now know the task which I need to perform. I enter the cubicle and I'll be given 5 minutes time to perform the task which has been asked outside. It might just be history taking. I'll go inside, there'll be a patient to whom I'll ask questions related to anesthesia assessment, and then he will answer. It's just that. In some cubicles, there will be physical examination section where you need to examine the patient, and the examiner will assess your examination process. Likewise, we need to get into each and every cubicle to finish the exam, and in each cubicle, you'll be given 5 minutes time to perform the task. So that's about objective structural clinical examination. I'm gonna play one video at the end of this my explanation, where you can see how this actually run, and to get a mental picture how it's actually been done. Even after explaining, it might be difficult if you don't know how it's actually done here in the UK.
At the time set out on your admission notice, you will be called from the reception area for your OSCE, the Objective Structured Clinical Exam. The invigilator will take you to the first floor briefing room. You will be asked to take a seat and remain in the room while you wait for the examiner floor supervisor to arrive. He or she will then give a briefing on the rules and peculiarities of the OSCE examination. Whilst in the briefing room, you may be given the opportunity to view a diagram of specific equipment used in the OSCE stations. This will allow you to familiarise yourself with certain model types before entering the room.
The exam lasts for about an hour and 42 minutes.
The examiner floor supervisor is a senior member of the OSCE core group, so listen carefully as he or she will give you excellent advice on the various types of questions you can expect. The floor supervisor will leave you in the briefing room to check that the examiners are ready on the exam floor. This will give you an opportunity to use the toilets before you start your exam. On returning, the supervisor will check that all candidates are ready and that everyone knows which cubicle they are assigned to. You will then be escorted to the exam floor. When you enter the exam floor, the cubicles or OSCE stations will be arranged around the perimeter of the room. Station 1 will be on the near left and Station 17 just over on the near right. Stations 10 following around to Station 14 will be at the far end of the room. Find your assigned station as quickly as possible and stand at the information point. You will have at least 1 minute to read the candidate information on the laminated sheet outside your station. Fully focus on the information. Read it twice if you have time. Take a mental note of things like the patient's names and details. The floor supervisor will check that the correct candidate is stood outside the correct station by noting the candidate number on your badge. The examiner or invigilator running your station will also check you are in the right place, again by reading the number on your badge. Once everyone is at their correct station and at least 1 minute has passed, the supervisor will signal to the timekeeper that the exam can start. All stations are allocated 5 minutes. When the 5 minutes are up, a bell will sound, indicating that you should leave the station and immediately move clockwise to the information point at your next station. You will have exactly 1 minute to read the briefing note for that station. On the sound of the next bell, you can enter the station. This process is then repeated for the whole OSCE round. In each of the stations, you will be tested on various aspects of your clinical assessment skills and technical procedures, such as checking equipment and demonstrating your techniques on mannequins. Remember, negative marking is not used in the OSCE, and there are no killer stations, so all questions should be answered, even if you're unsure of the answer. In communication or history stations, you are not required to physically examine a patient. You will be expected to demonstrate your communication and history-taking skills. The examiner will introduce you to the patient, an actor, and then observe your performance, allocating marks accordingly. In physical or anatomy stations where a role model or actor is present, you will be expected to demonstrate your method of examination, explaining what and why you are doing things. Always make sure your actions are clear to the examiner. Some anatomy stations may use anatomic models or illustrations. As with a role model, you will be asked to explain the anatomy and why and what you are doing. At some stations, for instance, an X-ray station, you will be answering questions without an examiner present, either via an optically marked answer sheet or straight onto a computer touchscreen. Where a mark sheet is used, your candidate number will already be printed on the sheet. When answering the questions, make sure you fill in the requisite box beside your answer with a firm, straight, horizontal pencil line, not a slash or a tick. Where a touch screen is used, your candidate number will be displayed on the screen. You will be connected directly to the marking system and be guided through a series of multi-choice questions. You input your answers via the touchscreen. These stations may include short video demonstrations or exhibit displays. The resus stations will test your knowledge and skills in dealing with arrest scenarios through the use of a simulator. The simulation station will use an interactive simulator to create clinical problem scenarios and assess how you identify and handle the situation. There may be occasions when your examination in a particular station is completed within the time allowed. If this occurs, the examiner will keep you in the station until the 5-minute bell sounds. He will not make any reference to your performance or scores, but may pass the time in social conversation. When everyone has completed the circuit, that's all stations, the timekeeper will ring the bell twice to indicate the end of the exam. Once the exam is complete, your last examiner will thank you as you leave the cubicle and you will be free to go.
So next is structured oral examination or SOE. This is a interview type of exam where there will be two examiners sitting inside, and as a candidate I'll go in and they would ask questions related to anesthesia. For example, they might ask what I would do as an anesthetist if a patient with mandibular fractures enter as my initial anesthesia assessment, or uh, if you consider doing a procedure on him, how would you do as an anesthesia doctor there? So in this interview we need to answer in such a way that we have a clear understanding of what we're doing and we have got required anesthesia knowledge to perform any of these anesthesia assessments. So if we clear all this theory, OSCE and structured oral examination, then we can say that we have cleared primary FRCA exam. Along with primary FRCA exam and GMC registration, we can work in the NHS. How to apply for GMC registration after clearing FRCA exams? I've made a video about GMC registration. You can watch that video. I'll be providing the link below in the description box. And then with the GMC registration, we can work here in the UK. However, I would also talk about final FRCA examination because Our ultimate goal would be to become a consultant here. So after I've got GIMC registration and working here in the UK for minimum of 1 year, I can take final FRCA written examination, and after clearing final FRCA written examination, I can go for structured oral examination. And by clearing all both of these exams, I can use the title FRCA in front of my name, and also I can work as a consultant here in the UK. So, to sum up, as an international medical anesthesia doctor, I should apply for TEE. I've explained what are the requirements to apply for TEE, and after obtaining TEE number, I can apply for primary FRCA exams, and after clearing all the three exams of primary FRCA exam, I can apply for GMC registration, and after obtaining GMC registration, I can work here in the NHS as an anesthesia registrar or a locum trust grade consultant. And with 1 year NHS experience, I can apply for final FRCA exams where I can use FRCA title after clearing. And also, I can work as a consultant here in the UK. I've explained everything except for the fee details and how many times these theory exams or practical exams will happen here in the UK. I'm going to show the slides where it says how much will be the fee for theory exam or OSCE or SOE exam. So you can watch the slide where it shows how much will be the cost. Around £350 for theory exam, and for OSCE exam this much. Thanks for watching my video. Give a thumbs up if you like the video, and also please subscribe to my channel to get notified whenever I upload new videos. And also comment your thoughts in the comment section and share it with your anesthesia friends who might find this video helpful. Thank you so much.